Jeremy Hill's in my ear instead of you. Jeremy, quiet. Hello, everybody. Sorry about being late. We've had some computer problems. Windows crashed. Shocker. It's one of those birthday presents I got.
Greetings from your queen. Your queen of Ooga Booga, that is. Hi, everybody. It's Sally Diane. I'm here late, but if you'd ask my family, I'm late a lot. But this time it wasn't my fault. It usually is. But this time it was seriously system crashes.
Yeah. Internet edge. The edge of crashing.
So, before we get any further, I would like to wish my producer a happy 50th birthday. 50 years. Young guy.
Anyhow, we've got some questions already.
I'm ready.
Ruby wants to know when A will contact me.
Okay, Ruby. Well, let's see if I can get an answer for you. Okay, so when will A contact Ruby? It says not a 1, not in a 1, not in a 1. But he will contact you. So I've gotten not in a day and not in a week, but he will contact you. So I think the cards are being cute about how they're putting it, that he'll probably get in touch with you before the end of the month, because it really feels like it's still in the harvest time. Here in the King of Coins, I'm seeing a lot of harvest references there. I get my eyes drawn to the field. So I will say before the end of October. Thank you, Ruby.
All right, here we go. Sonia wants to know.
Hi, Sonia.
What advice do the spirit guides have for me regarding to home life and finances?
The spirit guides are good with home life, but you know, sometimes spirit's a little off when it comes to finances, but we're going to look anyway. Okay. You have the Four of Swords right... Oh, sorry. You have the Four of Swords right here in the middle, and that tells me that the worst is behind you. You're actually on the mend, and so I feel like you've already faced the worst of the difficulties. Yeah, when I look at where you're at this spot, it feels like there might be a bit of an obstructed beginning, like you're trying to start something new, you're trying to get going on a slightly new path, and you're getting resistance from those around you. Let's see what we can do about that. The good old-fashioned guilt trip works. So you need to remind those around you to do their fair share, because there's this whole thing, and this is the idea around home. Everybody's got to pitch in. Everybody's got to come together. As far as the finances, I'm sorry that you might have a little bit of a false start. It feels like there's one step back here. The worst is behind you. You go forward, going forward. And thank you for tuning in, Sonia. You look great tonight, by the way.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Mrs. Maurice Evans-Jones. So, sorry, Mr. My mistake, Mo. Hello, can I get a reading, please, on my current job? I've taken today off and may take tomorrow off as well. My job is causing me to feel bummed out.
So right in the center, you're showing up as the King of Swords, but sort of ill aspected. So I'm wondering if you're even in the right spot, but that doesn't mean that you should shirk your responsibilities or play hooky so much. That's not a good idea. That's definitely not a good idea. But it does feel like things aren't like the atmosphere in general where you are at. It feels like the company is going through its own hardships, and that's sort of filtering down, and that has a lot to do with why you're feeling the way you're feeling. That sort of stuff comes from the top. So what the cards are telling me is, don't start doing your job poorly, but do start looking around for other opportunities. Because the one thing you're right about here is you're on a bit of a sinking ship. But abandoning ship without having a lifeboat is not the way to go. So, yes, do your job well, but look for the next exit. And thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, share, tell everybody about me.
All right, who's next? TS says, Jim and I want to thank you for a palm reading last week.
Well, you're welcome.
Suzanne likes the way you look.
Thank you, Suzanne. You're so
She's
sweet.
your number one fan, I think. Well, number two fan.
Felix is my number one fan.
Chris wants to know how their getaway is going to be next weekend. Is it going to be a safe trip? And will everything be good?
Okay, Chris. You know, the first thing I got was visions of rose petals. Pink rose petals, to be exact. So, something tells me that your getaway next weekend, don't make it all about work. There needs to be a lot of romance there. There's an opportunity for that. So, remember that. Okay. But I'm going to put out 3 cards for you. See what the cards have to say. So you have the Eight of Wands here. And one of the things about the Eight of Wands with travel, it does talk about traveling well. It also has this idea of speed around it. So you probably have clear highways or whatever because it feels like you're traveling a little faster than you ordinarily would. I worry a little bit about when I put the Judgment, and it's ill aspect and it's in the wrong position, but when I look at it with my unglassed eye, I almost feel like there's a thunderstorm. So the weather might not be in your favor. But what is in your favor is the Ace of Pentacles. And this does show up on the favorable side. So even though it's reversed, I still see this as a potential for a money-making opportunity. It just says that you have to try a little bit harder for it. But this is, so you have both romance and money. Who cares if there's a little bit of storm there? Looks like it's going to be a good weekend anyway.
Well, thanks, Mo, for subscribing. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Marcy.
Miss Lynn has a question. What is Jose feeling about me right now? We are not in contact at the moment. Sure, Bob, no problem. Nice to see you.
So, Jose shows up dead center as the Emperor. And the Emperor, there's some positive things I can say about the Emperor. But one thing that really strikes me in this reading about this Emperor is the amount of armor around him. And I don't like the disconnect. I don't like the emotional distancing. And I keep wondering why. Okay, I'm not even going to go down that road. But I do see him distancing. I do see him shutting off. I think that he, at this point, is not as serious as you are. And he's worried. He's feeling not ready for a commitment. So you can do with that as you will. If you choose to stay in this relationship, you may have to wait a long time for him. So that's something that you have to think about too. You can't control how people are going to act, and you can't control when somebody wants to pull away, but you can certainly control how you respond to it. So that's what I have to say about it. The guy's afraid of commitment.
All right, Bob wants to know what's in store for him and his wife Shirley for the next week or two. That's for the next week, until next Sunday, right, Bob?
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, to Bob and Shirley and all my viewers. And to anybody who's here for the first time, remember to subscribe. Now, Bob and Shirley will throw a few cards for Bob and Shirley for the next week. So the middle card is a High Priestess. And the High Priestess, she's about intuition. She's about secrets. In this case, it feels like things that you could see coming and were not looking forward to, and were probably kind of trying not to think about. Some of the truths you've been avoiding you're going to have to face them this week. I don't think it's going to be as hard or as bad as you've built up in your own mind. Yeah, it feels like you're dealing with some really high spiritual forces this week. But on the positive side, the phrase, the other shoe drops. So this week, the other shoe drops. So the things that you've been worried about happening are going to happen this week, and you're going to find that it's not as bad or as difficult as you thought it would be, and it also gives you a way forward. So when I look at maybe 3-4 weeks up the road, Bob and Shirley are moving forward quite nicely. So thank you for watching. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, we're going to skip Suzanne's questions for the moment so we can get one of the newbies in here. Hi, Caitlin. Why does the Scorpio think I'm smart? I keep pulling on something intuitively, I think.
Well, Scorpio thinks you're smart because you are. And the Scorpio isn't that stupid, so he sees it. Okay? But we're going to, the question was kind of vague. So let me just look at Caitlin and see what the cards tell me, okay? Because they have a way of answering your questions even when you don't know what your questions are. Okay, Caitlin. Well, Caitlin, dead center, you have the Ace of Cups. So this must be something new, because it really feels new. And the idea with the Ace of Cups, there's this idea of my cup runneth over. So love is, this whole idea of new love is so much around you. So this is a time when you shouldn't be worried. You should be happy. Wallow in it, if you will. Yeah. It's, I think you may be a little bit, I get this idea that you're torn between two lovers. It's almost like you're starting to fall in love with one, but you're still trying to hold on to the other. Let the other one go. This new one's hot. Oh yeah. Because the positive thing is you got the world at your fingertips. You know, let the universe carry you for the next little while, Caitlin. You're in a good spot. Just relax and enjoy the ride. Don't worry about anything. You're doing good. Put on a little mascara and bat your eyes, and you're fine.
All right, back to Suzanne.
Hi,
She wants to
Suzanne.
know how her mom's going to handle the therapy. She was offered a position with more details to follow.
You know that means that you have some input. Make sure you exercise it. Okay, so let's see how your mom's going to do with it. You know, oops. Cards fell out. Okay, yeah, I know that. So basically what the cards say is that it's not going to be easy for her. It's not going to be easy for her at all. One thing I pick up on with your mom is, and a lot of women are like this. She won't necessarily say how much pain she's in. You know, she kind of hides her pain a little bit, and she doesn't want to complain. So keep an eye on her. You know, keep an eye on the physical signs for her. Whether she seems, I don't know, excessively thirsty, if she seems fidgety. Just take note of her condition, because she won't complain. And there's, you know, she should be comfortable as well. So let's see, Suzanne, new position. That's so exciting. Congratulations. So right dead center, you have the Two of Swords. There's good and bad with the swords, but with the Two of Swords, in this case, it feels like the truce, you know, which is about agreement, which is about negotiation. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's a lot of this being a new position, but a kind of an amalgam of a couple of old positions. Negatively aspected, you have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is about competition and sometimes poor sportsmanship. And it's really ill aspected. So I've got to warn you, you are like there, do not get involved in the politics. You know how Thumper said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. Take that to heart. Gossips will try and draw you into their little web of negativity. Don't let it happen, and refuse to say anything bad about anybody. Be a real Pollyanna. Okay, so the negotiation. In the negotiations, they're going to try and argue that the company, you know, the economy. So they're going to try and say like they're broke. But you need to point out, you know, you're merging this job and this job and this job. So you're expecting me to do, you put these 3 jobs together, it's going to be X amount of money. And you're only offering me half that much. That's just what, and I'm not sure whether I'm putting that right, but that's the feeling of it. So you can get on top of the negotiations too. There's always 2 sides to every story. So thank you, Suzanne.
Bob wants to know about his mom. She's been in and out of the hospital twice within a week. And, Bob, we're sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Bob's mom. So when you talk about your mom, I know that right now she's in a lot of pain. When I look at the cards, on the face of them, they're very good. But hear me out here, Bob. Right in the middle, the cards are reminding you, your mom is a life well lived. And so I think that your mom is really at the point where she's looking at her life and saying, she's looking at what she's done in her life and the family and that, and she's happy for that. I'm not a doctor, and just what I'm getting from her is that she's lived a long time. She's ready to accept what's coming for her, and she just wants you to be around her a lot right now. So I think there might be some hard decisions coming up in the very short term, but always keep in mind, your mom is content with her life.
Miss Lynn wants to know career advice. She's been struggling to stay motivated in her current position.
Oh, that's always tough. Just a little. Now, are you in a desk, Lynn? That's just a yes or no question. And the reason I ask is because I feel that there's kind of petty negativity there that's draining you a bit. And if you have petty office place negativity, sometimes putting a snowflake obsidian is a fairly economical crystal, and just putting one at the back of your 2 top drawers so that there's a snowflake obsidian sort of toward the corner of your desk and either way, and it kind of puts more of a protective shield around you. And that kind of helps combat some of the little bit of workplace negativity that can pull down anybody's attitude. So, the middle card is the World. And the World is pretty much, one of the better cards you can get. Even if it's ill aspect, it's very rarely very rarely totally negative. And in this position, and even when you said that, I got the feeling that you can accomplish a lot in your career. It's just the negativity, the little nattering, the politics. the gossip, stuff like that is what's dragging you down. The career itself is something that you could be very happy and productive with. So again, snowflake obsidian, and don't listen to gossip, and don't let people gossip to you. Don't worry that feels like a recent opportunity has passed you by. It'll come back around. If opportunity comes to you once, it'll come to you twice as well. So, you have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is usually it's a card of defensiveness and holding your position. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but where it is right now, it's a good thing for you to just hold your position and try and make your little bubble as positive as possible. And if there's any negative people around you in the workspace, try and find a way to redirect them so they bug somebody else. And thank you for tuning in.
Geeta wants to know about her degree. She's hoping to be able to get it finished and graduate 2021. Spring, May, I suppose.
And you will do it. You're committed. I just feel like you're close enough. As you get closer and closer to the end of your task, the more and more motivated you get. Just be careful you don't don't do too many all-nighters. But we'll see what the cards have to say. Well, you just said 2021, so summer 2021 is fine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Whoever is kind of sabotaging you, and it just feels like friend sabotaging, you need to resist that person. Whoever's trying to put in obstacles or make it a little difficult for you, yeah, you need to resist that person, because it does feel like you have somebody who's being an obstacle to you. Positively aspected. Positively aspected, we have the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands does talk about the competition, and school is a kind of competition. Any kind of class you get, there's a curve in that, so you are competing with the other students. And the reason I say this is because you show up as being the one that's a little bit above everything else. You're the one who figures things out before everybody else. You're the clever one. Yes, I can see you finishing by the summer, and that's probably quicker than other people say they could. Good for you.
Cinnamon Tarot wants to know about Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. And that's Cinnamon Tarot, like Spicy's Tarot?
Sure.
I like that. Okay. Jessica. Lovely Jessica. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was the question about Jessica?
Well, kind of feelings they have for me, and
Okay. Is Jessica, Jessica seems to be in love with life, and you might be part of that, but you're not everything. She seems to be a very creative soul. She seems to be a sort that likes to juggle a lot of things at once. So she is going to be a bit of a challenge to keep up with. Now, the first thing the cards told me is that Jessica juggles a lot of things at once. There's a warning about jealousy here. Do not let it show. If you want to know how she feels about you, she feels positively about you, but she needs to have freedom too. She needs to be able to come and go as she pleases. That's the way Jessica has always been and always will be. But the positive, now you have the Seven of Swords on the positive side. You remember I was telling you about don't let jealousy show. Don't let jealousy show. Don't let jealousy show. That it seems like there's either a person or situation in Jessica's life who's been kind of a toxic influence that has left. You see that bird flying like that. So you have Seven of Swords, which is about toxic relationships, but it's positively aspected. So that's where I see the this being something that's going away. So she's just done a major cleanup on her life. All you have to do is be fun and be loving and ask her about her adventures.
Excellent. Haunting Live wants to know whether the weekend of November 6th and 7th for a big live event. Actually, we're not going live. It's a big event that we've got going on.
Yes, but they are.
Well, that's right. We're part of it, though.
Yes.
Anyhow, they want to know about whether there will be any press covering the event. Guys, I'm sorry to say, but the local paper only covers the mayor's farts and burps.
That's one. He's only allowed 3. Satan, you're... Okay. Okay, so we want to get press coverage. How's the best way to get press coverage? Legally. Without scaring anybody.
How is there an illegal way to get press coverage?
What, an illegal way? Rob a bank? You get the press coverage then. Right? Because when Chris asked about, which is from Haunting's Life, asked about press coverage, the first thing I get is the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is kind of a messenger, somebody that goes out and seeks it. And so I feel like, and the black cat there kind of stands out too. So if you're clever about it, you can get some press somehow to cover. You just won't get the Beacon Herald. I know that. Okay, so if you want press coverage, you might have to mend some fences along the way. You know, when you're looking for press coverage, you're always dealing with ego along the way, and sometimes that's not very much fun. But having said that, if you pull the right stunts, yes, you can get press coverage. And you don't have to rob a bank either.
Alright, so I think we've missed somebody along the way here. I'm just scrolling through to see what's going on. We got Cinnamon, we got that, we got that, we got that. Oh, yeah, alright. Haunting Live wants to know what's going to happen with Toronto, Ottawa, and Peel region for the next 28 days.
Oh, gee.
You're welcome, Gina.
I will be so surprised if the tower doesn't come up. Because I swear there is going to be protesters there.
Sure, so Sam, we'll get to you.
I already did Oga Boga. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was sure we'd have protesters. But, actually, it seems to be effective. And they start seeing...
Hi, Frankie.
They start seeing improvement enough that they're willing to go the full distance. And I see that there with the Chariot. I also see the idea that you have both federal and provincial governments kicking in to help these businesses out. So even though it's not optimal, they are willing to give it a try and get a look and see. But it is because of the money angle. You have the Knight of Coins positively aspected. So they'll be all right, but they do need a promise of some big money to help them through this month-long shutdown. But it works. It does what it's supposed to do.
Hi, Ernie. Suzanne's dad, Ernie, who's watching the show with her, has a question about his daughter, A. He's just wanted to make sure that she's going to find a partner at some point in her life.
Oh. Well, he's not talking... Oh, his daughter, A.
Yes, his daughter, A.
Okay. So is Suzanne daughter B or daughter C?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Okay, so let's see how your baby's going to do. Okay. And thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching, Ernie. You have a lovely daughter. You have 2 lovely daughters. And what was the question? If she was going to find a relationship?
Yeah.
Yes. You have the Ace of Wands dead center. So there's somewhere along the line, there's a spark there already. That's interesting. The Lovers, but the Lovers on the wrong side of the equation. Maybe she's worried that somebody in her life might not get approval. I think that A it's showing me a spark already ignited around her. So I think she just hasn't told you about who's around her. And I think she's a little worried about how you will respond to this person. But I would respond well because it's somebody that she loves.
All right. There you go, Ernie. Ava wants to know whether Trump truly had the virus. Do you really think that Trump could act being out of breath?
Oh, yeah. He couldn't even stay up on that balcony for more, I think it was 18 minutes. That guy's usually yelling for hours, and he's a fool too. See what happens to him going on planes 3 days in a row. And his doctors are full of bullpucky as far as him being, the one thing they haven't said. They put out all this mumbo jumbo about his antibodies and blah, 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 blah. But the one thing they don't say is he tested negative. He tested negative. Those 3 words they can't say. And they spend paragraphs dancing around it. Yeah, he had COVID. I want to know, where's Melania?
That's right. The First Lady's been missing for a while.
Yeah. How sick is she? Just spitballing there.
Oh, hi, KK.
Did you want me to throw some cards on it?
Now we've got a question from KK.
KK.
Yeah, I'm still reading your question. Without punctuation, it's a little difficult at times. Is it over between me and my past person, or when will the ex reach out? I'm a virgin. I mean Virgo.
You know, I often talk about the old proverb about pinchy shoes. And if you take a pair of pinchy shoes and you put them in a closet and you leave them sit there for 6 months and you take them back out, guess what? They still pinch. And, you know, even though you're madly in love with this guy, there were issues with him. He may act like you're the one that's got all the issues. No. He's the one that's got the deal breakers. You know, I think you should find someone new, but we'll look at it. That whole thing about going for exes, though, that's dangerous territory. It's usually asking for trouble. Personal opinion, I know. Well, you can win him over. It shows strength dead center, but that shows you as being a strong person. Negatively aspected, you have the Five of Wands, but it shows upside down. And it felt, I don't always read the upside down cards, but this one just wanted to be turned over that way. And it's reminding you that you've already lost the competition here. You know, I don't think there's a lot for you there. I know you have feelings for this guy, and I know you know, every stray cat will come back. Positively aspected, every stray cat will come back. He will come back.
With fleas?
Probably. I'm sorry that in my decades of being a reader, it's been my experience that it seldom works out when you take a guy back. You just end up with a guy who thinks he can leave at any time and come back at any time, like a stray cat. So that's something you have to ask yourself before you let this guy back in. But if you're asking me if he comes back, yeah, he always does.
Well then.
KK, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in again. I'm just being honest. I really am.
Eva, of course he's not cured. You have to remember that Trump has permanent opposite day. If he says right, it means left. He says up, it's down. Wrong is right. It's always opposite day. So if he says he's cured, he's guarantee you he is not cured.
Yeah, okay. So guys, I usually do this as a separate video, and I will be doing this as a separate video, but I know that a lot of people are curious about that, so we will pull 3 cards on the Don and his illness. Mussolini on his balcony with 600 followers.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Okay, so we have the Chariot, only it's reversed. Remember what I said about air travel? Oh my God, is that going to play havoc on him? He is so going to regret going on a plane. Anybody who's ever had a sinus infection has gone on a plane, and he has sinus problems, so he thinks he can handle it. He's sick. He's still sick, and he knows it.
I just said that this morning, didn't I?
Yeah. He does not care that he's a super spreader. He doesn't care who gets his cooties. They're his cooties. They should be happy to have his cooties. It's a privilege to have his cooties. Wow. Guess who else he's going to get sick? Ivanka.
Oh no.
Yep.
Not the girlfriend.
No, the daughter wife. Ivanka.
Like I said, the girlfriend.
Yeah. So sorry for the bad. Well, I'm not sorry for the bad taste when I'm talking about somebody that's just plain bad taste, but somebody's offended. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So Fatima wants to
Hi,
know
Fatima.
about her future husband. You see a new love coming in, and yeah. And Haunting Life wants to know what I'm going to find my ring. I doubt it.
So do I. Okay, but we're focusing on
Fatima.
Fatima. You know, Fatima, it wouldn't hurt you to do a love spell every now and then. Light a pink candle with a few rose quartz. Put some rose petals in your bathtub. Stuff like that. You just sound like somebody with magic edge to it. Ooh. You've got 8 weeks is the timing here. And I have the 8 of Wands, but if you look at my 8 of Wands, there's this whole lover's game going on in the middle of it. So, on the negative side, it seems like there was a man-child that you might have let go that you're wondering if you did the right thing. You did the right thing. And on the positive side, Ace of Wands. So you've got a lot of fire. You've got a new beginning. Yes, you're right. There is somebody new coming in. And when I said light a candle, you got the Ace of Wands here. Look, candle-y looking thing with a flame on top. Light a few candles.
She said she actually does love spells. Unfortunately, she's doing love spells to manifest a specific person.
Is that what she says, or is that your comment number 2?
No, that's what she says. She's focusing on a specific person.
Oh, you know something like that's going to work a lot better if you trust the universe. You're asking the universe to trust you. Trust the universe to send you the right one. And you know that. Okay, so who's next?
All right. So we've got a few more happening here.
And I've heard a lot of new names. Thank you. Welcome to all the new viewers. Make sure you subscribe. And I do have a lot of videos up. I have videos about This Week in Dawn. I have a couple about Justin Bieber. And of course, I do palm readings. So if anybody wants a palm reading from me, send me your palms, your left palm, your right palm, 2 pictures, and make sure I see your hand, your fingers, your thumb, the bottom of your hand, like about to here. And don't hold your hand stiff like that. Just hold it relaxed, kind of like that, so I can see all the nice mounds and lines in your hands. And like I said, left, right hand, your birthday, if you want to help me out a little bit more, that'd be helpful. And just send them to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com. I have to say that only send your own palms. Do not send me somebody else's palms. If somebody else wants a reading, they need to send me their own palms themselves. But please send me a picture of your palms, and I will be doing readings, and we'll send you an email when I've done the palm reading for you.
All right, we got 3 more questions happening here.
Awesome.
One from Frankie, one from Maria, and one from Jen said. I'm going to start with that one because it's the longest. What does my person think of seeing me at the drive-thru when she handed me my food? She seemed very angry. I didn't know she worked there when I went.
Okay, so the one card that flew out as you're is the Hanged Man. And with the Hanged Man, you see the coinage falling down. So this person definitely did not want you to know where she worked. And I don't know why. I am going to put some more cards out there for you, but I just wanted you to know the card that jumped out just as you were asking the question. So that's usually the most powerful card. She definitely didn't want you to know where she was working. You know, it worries her. So when I look at everything around here, first off, you see you have the Eight of Swords, and she's got these swords all around her, and the head kind of hung. So this was something that she was trying to keep from you. This card concerns me a little just because it's ill aspected. I'm worried about relationships here. Is there complications around relationships? I think there may be. And I especially worry about seeing the Ten of Cups, but not as sunny as it should be. It's almost like there's a cloud there. I really worry about why somebody's keeping secrets from you and why she needs that money. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question.
All right. Frankie wants to know whether there's a new love coming.
Frankie.
It's just around the corner, but it's $10 more this week.
That's 2. He's only allowed 3, folks. I'm sorry. And shame on everybody who thought that was funny. He's laughing. Okay, Frankie. I take your question seriously, Frankie. You wanted to know about new love? Oh, yes. You have the Empress dead center. So you've got something coming up before the end of the year. And this is something special, something very sweet, something that needs to be handled with care. Interesting. Are you looking for a new relationship before you close the door on your old relationship? That kind of worries me because of where the Two of Coins is setting and how it is setting. Because you have the feeling of somebody who has your a foot in 2 worlds. And it's kind of, you got to make up your mind. You know, the S or get off the pot kind of thing. So if you have another relationship going on right now and you want a new one, you got to button up the old one. And don't ghost somebody. That's a horrible thing to do. But yes, there is new love coming your way. And there's an element of trust here. And there's an element of being able to make it through the kind of obstacles that life always throws obstacles in our path. You know, we're looking for the relationship. They'll make it through the bad times as well as good times. And you have that kind of relationship coming up in the Empress. Remember I said that she's precious and she needs to be treated delicately. This needs to be solved right away. Okay. So thank you, Frankie.
All right. Maria wants to know, how does Brianna feel about me?
Yeah, that's a hard thing about human relationships. It feels like we're always having to guess, you know? It's too bad we don't all have a mood ring right in the middle of our forehead so we could tell, right?
I don't think it's the mood ring so much as it's just courage.
Yes, well...
The fear of rejection makes people not talk.
Yes. And it's funny that you talk about communication. Right in the middle you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups tells me that Brianna, there's the Knights are sometimes about messages, but it feels like she feels a connection there, a soul level connection. She feels like you're somebody that she can talk to. That's nice. Now this is a reading for you, and this is about all the things of the heart and of emotion in that. And there's a reminder that sometimes you're insecure. Yeah, of course, your insecurities are molded by past hurts. And you have somebody who's very sweet right here. A lot of times the Knight of Cups is associated with Lancelot or the Knight in Shining Armor. So it's somebody who puts things of the heart high up on the list, give it big priority. So I think that you've got somebody here who will not do the hurtful things that other people have done to you in the past. So don't measure her by somebody else's yardstick. I'm sure that was a mixed metaphor. Yes, she seems to be happy. She you help her out. She seems to she finds it to be a productive relationship. She feels happy every time she sees you. She leaves feeling better, feeling uplifted. This person likes you. No worries. Don't worry. I know you've been hurt. You won't get hurt this time. Relax.
Well, it is time for the Coming Up in Canada segment.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh, can't we have a few more minutes? We were late.
Well, it's 12 after 10.
Oh, okay. Well, we already had a few more minutes. Okay, so this week in Canada. So one of the overriding topics of this week in Canada is really going to be to just preserve what we've got right now. So they're really going to be working on, looking at like the wage subsidies, the enhanced EI. They're also going to be looking at ways to help renters out. There's help with housing here. So you have the Knight of Coins and the King of Swords, and they're kind of coming at each other. And I see that as Justin Trudeau and who's the conservative guy? It just seems
O'Toole.
like, pardon?
O'Toole.
So the two of them are exchanging barbs, and it really feels just classic barbs. The Liberals are saying we need money for this. The conservatives are saying the debt, in a case like this, actually the liberals are right, because the government is not here to save. The government is here to support the people. And if the government takes care of the people, then it will have more money because the people are productive. I worry that there's bad news about a woman here. One of our woman politicians is it feels like is in a legal battle, but it feels almost like she's caught embezzling or something along those lines. So that's a financial scandal coming at this week. Let's take a look at just more Ontario in general. Job numbers look good, comparatively speaking, but you've got the Three of Pentacles here. So overall, the economic news about jobs is actually good, and the wage subsidy does help, although it doesn't guarantee enough. It's kind of like it does 3/4 of the job, because they're going to be asking for just give a little bit more there. Aw. And you have the Knight of Swords, which is Doug Ford. Poor Doug Ford. You know, he's really trying to do the right thing. And in doing the right thing, he's alienating his base. So he's, he knows he has to. He knows he has to do the right thing. But it's hard for him because, like I said, he's alienating his base, and he doesn't know what he's going to have at the end of this. He doesn't even know whether he's going to have a career. So be thankful for him. He's knowingly sacrificing himself for us. It also looks like there is going to be some news on the housing, the landlord-tenant kind of thing, that they're going to put in some regulations that actually favor landlords. I think this has to do with landlords, the business landlords, and they're really hurting right now, and it gives them a way to have a little bit more teeth and to recover a little bit faster. So that is this week in Canada. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in this week and every week. Thank you to all the new viewers we saw out there. I hope you all subscribe and tune in next week at 9 o'clock for another episode of Psychic Sundays Live. Remember, we're looking for palms. Send in pictures of your palms to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com. And always check in on the Queen of Ooga Booga channel, because we do frequently put up all kinds of new videos. Thank you very much. Have a great week, and farewell from your Queen.